It's the hashtag Simply Cyber, COMMUNITY. Here to break the cycle, this is vital more than you and I. Yeah, it's exciting, it don't matter what your title is. You can grab a friend or two or three or four and invite them in. It's the Simply Cyber, bring a good vibe. It's the live with Jerry every morning, having good time. And you know we love to see for you, just gotta go and get it. Yeah, you know we all believe in you, it's time we grow together. It's the Simply Cyber, bring a good vibe. It's the live with Jerry every morning, having good times. And you know we love to see for you, just gotta go and get it. Yeah, you know we all believe in you, it's time we grow together. Dr. Oja is a OG, got that potion, the elixir, got devotion to all those who keep on showing up to witness, spit the tricks and quips and all the tips to raise your cyber fitness, switching up the routines, pass it off to James and quicker, keep the people smiling, hit that follow, that's a good decision. Every week, today, tomorrow, I encourage y'all to listen. We gon' teach y'all way more than how to protect yourselves from phishing, more like being confident so you can recognize the vision. On a mission, it's official, we gon' get through all these issues. Time for jaw jacket, baby, this is more than a tradition, yeah. Oh, I can't forget to recognize the mods. They the engine, they the reason that you leave it feeling charged. It's a Simply Cyber, bring a good vibe. It's a live with Jerry every morning, having good time. And you know we love to see for you, just gotta go and get it. Yeah, you know we all believe in you, it's time we grow together. It's a Simply Cyber, bring a good vibe. It's a live with Jerry every morning, having good time. And you know we love to see for you, just gotta go and get it. Yeah, you know we all believe in you, it's time we grow together. Yeah. What else can I say? I hope you find some value in this place and have yourself an awesome day. Simply Cyber's here to stay. So let's all put our hands together ready. Time to hang with Dr. A.
All right, good morning, everybody. Welcome to the party. Today is Thursday, February 6, 2025. This is episode 808 of your Simply Cyber Daily Cyber Threat Brief podcast. I am your host, Dr. Gerald Auger. And whether you're in Denver or you're coming in from other parts around the world, we got a great show for you. Over the next hour, myself alongside members like Aiden from Big Texas, Marcus Kyler and the Yeet Crew, Valentino, M.R. Gunkel, DJ Bisek, with special guest Eric Taylor behind the glass today. Carrie, Kyle, Casually Joseph, and Justin Gold dragging themselves up into mod chat. Guys, we're all going to be shredding the top cybersecurity news stories of the day, and I'll be giving my expert opinion and analysis on each of those stories on what it means to you as a practitioner. So how can I use this information, Jerry, to drive cyber risk reduction down for my business stakeholders? How can I use this to engage with like-minded professionals in a meaningful way as I fix my screensaver? Because that was a hot mess express back there. Guys, it's all about good times. It's all about leveling up. It's all about consistency. You know what? That's the job. It's hard. And honestly, I freaking love it. I love that it doesn't get boring, and I love that it puts such a demand on all of us. And staying current and doing it in a fun way is one way that we can enjoy the work as well as getting it done. And I want to say, if you are looking to break into the industry and you're like, wait a minute, this sounds like it's a podcast for active practitioners. I'll come back when I get a job. Wait, my friend. We got you covered, because you're going to be asked in any job interview, how do you stay current? Ding, get that. Second of all, how about you develop a new habit starting today? Ding, staying current, stay up to date. It's what happens. It starts your day. Get your coffee, get right. Driving into work on the elliptical, Nick Barker perhaps, whatever it is, make this part of your routine. I'm telling you, whether it's our show or another one, get up to date on the current cyber news. It will benefit you immensely. But what makes Simply Cyber so dope and the Daily Cyber Threat Briefing so amazing is right above my head. You see all these people just flowing through here like Augusta Delgado. Looks like Nick Barker can use his phone from the elliptical there, so that's good. Sanjay Kulkar, Madine G. Guys, it's the Simply Cyber community that truly makes this show and the entire experience special and unique all unto itself. So say what's up in chat, whether you're a first-timer or a long-timer, you're part of the Team SC community. Welcome to the party, pal. We got you covered. Now, we are doing the news today, and I got to let you know, I don't research or prep for the news. You know why?
Ain't nobody got time for that.
It's as simple as that. Ain't nobody got time for that. You know what I'm saying, Aiden? You got that? But I like to be authentic. I like to be legit. So authentic. You think this is a recorded program? You're mistaken. May I do a quick shout out to my friends, the Team SC community repping live in Denver at Wild West Mile High. Here they are. Group photo, team photo. Welcome. This is amazing. Look at this. We got Nick Barker, B-Dubs, the Librarian, FedEx, Jay Gold, Casually Joseph, Luke Canfield, Tech Ricky, James McQuiggan at 35,000 feet, Leo. Guys, this is what community is all about. Love it, love it, love it. I hope you guys are having a phenomenal time out there in Denver. Be safe and do all the things. All right, guys. I do want to say before we get started, shout out and love to the stream sponsors, those who enable me to bring this heat to you every single day. What's up, Chris Whitlock in the house? Starting with ThreatLocker. We're going to do a little ThreatLocker run, and then we will do a Antisyphon run. Actually, you know what? Let's do ThreatLocker, Delete Me, back to back. Smash them together, and then I'm going to tell you how this show can help solve all your CPE problems, okay? You got CPE problems? I got 99 problems, but a CP ain't one. Ha! Okay. Jay-Z isn't totally canceled yet, so I'll make that joke, okay? Joe Hudson's here on LinkedIn. What? Welcome to the party, pal. Ladies and gentlemen, Joe Hudson. Welcome to the party. All right, let's do these ad runs, pay the bills, and when I come back, solve all your CPE problems. I want to give some love to the Daily Cyber Threat Brief sponsor, ThreatLocker. Do zero-day exploits and supply chain attacks keep you up at night? Well, worry no more. You can harden your security with ThreatLocker. Worldwide, companies like JetBlue trust ThreatLocker to secure their data and keep their business operations flying high. ThreatLocker takes a deny-by-default approach to cybersecurity and provides a full audit of every action allowed or blocked for risk management and compliance. Onboarding and operation is fully supported by their US-based Cyber Heroes support team. Get a free 30-day trial and learn more about how ThreatLocker can help prevent ransomware and ensure compliance. Visit threatlocker.com. As a person that exists publicly, especially since I share my opinions and hot takes daily, I'm hyper aware of my safety and security, and it's even easier to find personal information about people online these days. All the data is just hanging out there on the internet, and it can have real life consequences. But I recently found a solution, and this service is called Delete Me. Delete Me is a subscription service that removes your personal info from the largest people search databases on the web, and in the process helps prevent ID theft, doxing, phishing scams, stuff like that. And when you sign up, you tell Delete Me what data you want deleted, and they go off and do it. The cool thing is you get a personalized privacy report every month that shows what they deleted, where they found it, etc. It's pretty cool. For me personally, it's like outsourcing your online privacy, which honestly, I don't have time to do that myself or do it well. So for them to handle it is awesome. Take control of your data and keep your private life private by signing up for Delete Me now at the special discount for Simply Cyber listeners. The only way to get 20% off is to go to joindeleteme.com/simplycyber and enter code simplycyber at checkout. That's joindeleteme.com/simplycyber. All right. Thank you, Real Bilbo, for the super chat. Talking about I'm missing the real party. This guy knows what's cracking. I wish I could be there in Denver. I'm very happy with the decisions I made. You know, sometimes you got to, tough choices to make. I am here in the Low Country with my family, celebrating my wife's birthday this weekend, and being here for her, being present, and doing house projects and stuff like that. So, guys, let me tell you, every single episode of the Daily Cyber Threat Brief, including this one right here, 808, twice as good as 404, resource not found, you found it, is worth half a CPE. So say what's up in chat, grab a screenshot, file it away, and once a year, count the number of screenshots, divide by 2, or multiply by 0.5, because it's worth half a CPE. CPEs are 1 CPE for 1 hour of learning. This is an instructor-led webinar, effectively. So, just because I'm wearing a GRC shirt and repping like a boss doesn't mean it can't be worth a half a CPE. Listen, the CPE policies for CompTIA, ISACA, ISC squared, etc., it doesn't say instructor-led webinar and must be boring as heck. No, we can have fun. We've cracked the code on what's going on. So just take a screenshot. If you want, you can do a hashtag TeamSC in chat. Basically, you see how I have chat on the screen? That's literally so you can grab the screenshot and be like, ding, I was there. Feel me? All right, let's go. All right, it is Thursday. I want everybody to know. So on Thursdays, we do What's Your Meme Thursday. This is Haircut Fish, a.k.a. Dan Reardon. And this guy makes, if you've seen a funny cybersecurity meme ever, chances are Dan made it. So we've got a good one for you today. I love it, honestly. Usually poking fun at me or Eric Taylor or John Strand. Today, I can assure you it's poking fun at me, but GRC Mafia, I think you're going to enjoy this one. It's got a little nod to you guys. So get ready for that, Chris Whitlock. Whoa, George Strasburger coming in hot from the Beantown. Happy birthday, Mrs. Ozier. Have a birthday drink and cake on the community. Thank you very much, George. I appreciate it, brother. That's awesome. Thank you. All right, guys, we got work to do. So do me a favor, sit back, relax, and let's let the cool sounds of the hot news wash over all of us in an awesome way. I'll see you guys at the mid-roll.
From the CISO series, it's Cybersecurity Headlines.
These are the cybersecurity headlines for Thursday, February 6th, 2025. I'm Sean Kelly. Spain arrests hacker of U.S. and Spanish military agencies. Spanish police arrested a suspect for allegedly conducting 40 cyber attacks targeting critical organizations and universities. The police said the suspect accessed internal data and personal info of employees and customers and used breach forums to sell and leak the data. Data leaks for NATO, the U.S. military, and Spain's Guardia Civil and Ministry of Defense were listed as most successfully sold. During a raid of the suspect's residence, police found and seized multiple computers, electronic devices, and 50 cryptocurrency accounts. The hacker could face a maximum sentence of 20 years in prison under Spanish law.
Regulators, mount up.
Yeah, man. You know what? Play stupid games, win stupid prizes. So this dude right here, they don't have a name, it doesn't sound like, right? He uses the Alias NATO hub. It is kind of funny, not funny, but it is interesting. There's a lot of very good threat actors that have, like US DOD was a threat actor. He may even still be at large, who was very good in getting stuff. But when you say like US DOD, it, most people think something else. This guy, NATO hub, it's interesting. So obviously, this dude was making efforts to mask his identity, I'm sure, right? Using VPNs, maybe jump boxes, these type of things. When you're attacking like first world power national security systems, the United Nations isn't a national security system, but you guys pick up what I'm putting down. The U.S. Army, that's national security. All these Spanish ones, National Mint, Stamp Factory, whatever. I don't know much about that. But my point is, these are federal systems. You are definitely flirting with fire. And you know what I mean? Honestly, it's a risk versus reward, model, right? If you want to hack some small publishing company in Mount Pleasant, South Carolina, then the chances of repercussion, the chances of getting slapped in the face are less. I mean, you could still get arrested, obviously, but the heat is less on. When you start attacking like the U.S. Army or causing panic and stuff, NATO, you're going to basically federal investigators have entered the chat. So, but obviously this data is probably worth something of value. This guy definitely got hacked. I do want to point out, not hacked, this guy got captured. But I do want to point out, it's important to note, even with all of the best efforts to obfuscate yourself and hide, if intelligence communities want to find you, they will. And this is actually a tinfoil hat time. If you're a first-timer here, please drop a hashtag first-timer in chat. We welcome our first-timers. We love first-timers. We want you to feel comfortable and welcome here. So we ask you to drop a hashtag first-timer. We have a special sound effect. And the squad members actually have a special emote that they'll put up for you if you identify as a first timer. But the tinfoil hat is where I'll say something that is not necessarily a fact. It's more of an opinion, but it's something I want to share with you. The tinfoil hat is essentially an asterisk on what I'm about to say. Here's my thing about this. Guys, I honestly believe the United States government and other like first world powers have every capability at their disposal to locate exactly where a person is, a human. All right. So like when we say like, oh my God, all this ransomware is like rampant and whoa, all this ransomware is killing us. What are we going to do? Like, if we wanted to find exactly who was in charge of ransomware, like let's say Lynx ransomware group, and go, like literally go physically get them, we have the capability. Like our intelligence community and capability is unparalleled in the United States. But you've got to remember, this isn't a movie where you can just like punch in a button and reroute a satellite, quickly to take photos of some desert somewhere. It's like, if you decide to use that intelligence capability, you're taking the intelligence capability off of another project that may have more national security issues or more sensitive nature type stuff. So it's always doesn't surprise me when we see stuff like this. So just know, these people are committing these crimes. Like they can try to hide all they want, but even with the best OPSEC is operational security. It's a concept of like masking your identity and where you are. Even with great OPSEC, you can fall victim. I'll give you a quick example. Darknet Diaries, if you want. Darknet Diaries has a wonderful episode that we talk about from time to time on the show called Anom. And this right here, if you're interested, I'll drop a link to it. This was episode 146 of Darknet Diaries. Which, by the way, if you don't know Darknet Diaries, this is a phenomenal educational and entertaining podcast of events in cybersecurity that are well crafted by storyteller Jack Resider. This one was basically the FBI set up a criminal enterprise to sell, ghost phones, essentially, to allow criminals to conduct business over cell phones, text messages, and stuff with complete zero footprint, OPSEC to the max. But the problem is the back end of it was all FBI controlled, so they could see everything. So even with the best OPSEC, you can fall into essentially a honeypot and get your foot stuck like Pooh Bear. All right. This doesn't mean much for us day in and day out. Like this guy's caught. So this is more of an update than anything. Like no one's going to go update their firewall logs based on this story, but it is interesting. And it just goes to show that, law enforcement is out there and they're doing all the things. Very cool. I'm going to link to, there's actually a takedown video. These are always very, very sexy. So go check that out.
Robocallers called the FCC pretending to be from the FCC. The Federal Communications Commission has voted to propose fining voice over IP telco Telnix nearly $4.5 million after scammers took advantage of their service. The FCC was alerted to the issue on February 6th of last year after several staff and their family members received robocalls to their work and personal numbers with a message claiming to be from an imaginary FCC fraud prevention team. The calls went on for about a day before being shut down. FCC head Brendan Carr said he was pleased with the bipartisan support for the fine and added, quote, cracking down on illegal robocalls will be a top priority at the FCC, end quote. Telnex has appealed the proposed fine and said it acted responsibly by stopping the robocalls as soon as it was alerted.
All right, it appears the FCC won't let me be or let me be me. So let me see, Joe Hudson. Looks like robocallers are, guys, I don't know about you, but at this point, I don't answer a phone call that I don't recognize the number. You can leave a voicemail for all I care, or text me or email me. I'm, this gray in my beard would indicate that I'm a millennial, borderline Gen X. But I'm all set with the phone. Okay. Like I don't want the phone call. Like, don't call me. So robocallers, I think they're annoying. They're used by scammers, but they're also used by businesses. They're used during elections. How many phone calls did you get in last November? Like, ugh, the party that you care, the president, the candidate that you don't care about is going to destroy democracy, or the candidate you do care about is going to save democracy. It's like, ugh, robocallers, you're gross. So I will tell you, I'm a big fan of the major telecom services actually indicating, I don't know if you guys are getting this, but it'll commonly say like spam or telemarketer as the caller ID. I love that. the story here is whatever. The fact that the FCC got called, it's funny. It's funny, but at the same time, like, it's not really important. Flakinator does bring up a really good Flakinator does bring up a good point. If you're job hunting, you do have to answer those unknown calls. That is correct. But at the same time, like, if I don't know, like, yes, you do. Okay. And I guess I would just say like, for me personally, if I do have to answer an unknown call because I'm expecting a call from, like, whatever, my bank or something like that, I will answer. I'm always such a prick too. I'm like, hello, like you've already inconvenienced me by me answering the phone. And then if they don't immediately deliver, like, something like, hey, it's, the call you're expecting, or hi, it's your aunt, or what, like, I'm just like, what is this about? You know what I mean? Like, so I feel you, Flakinator, though. Dude, I just hate scam calls. I will tell you that less people are inclined to answer calls. I was actually talking to a pen tester yesterday who was talking about an engagement they had done, and part of their initial, attack sequence did involve calling individuals in the business, and that individual was having a tough time of getting customers at the client site to answer the phone. So it seems like in a large macro capacity, fewer people are answering calls. And I think it's because robocallers, scammers, telemarketers have essentially fatigued us into even wanting answering the phone. Plus, there's so many other vehicles for communication nowadays: Discord, text message, email, DMs, Telegram, Signal, all these things. So it is what it is. All right, let's keep going.
Ransomware payments decreased 35% year over year. According to a new report from Chainalysis, in 2024, ransomware attackers racked up $813.5 million in victim payments, a 35% decrease from 2023's record-setting year of $1.25 billion. The drop is attributed to increased law enforcement actions, improved international collaboration, and growing refusal by victims to pay. The report highlighted ransomware gang disruption, including the Lockbit takedown in February of 2024 and Black Cat's apparent exit scam following the attack on Change Healthcare. While Lockbit has rebranded and made a comeback, payments to the group fell by nearly 80% in the second half of last year compared to the first. Chainalysis observed many attackers shifting tactics with new ransomware strains and also getting quicker with ransom negotiations, often beginning within hours of data exfiltration.
Okay, so this is interesting. First of all, if you didn't know this, Chainalysis is legit. Okay, Chainalysis is OG. They were the like the OG law enforcement. Well, not law enforcement. They partnered with law enforcement, but they're like the OG analyzing the blockchain and having systems that can do it quickly. So just really, really quickly. And if you're here to like hawk Web3 coins or whatever, you got the wrong show. We have J Crypto here already, so we've got our token crypto bro quota met. So really quickly, if you didn't know this, because it's important to this story and for you in general, the whole concept of cryptocurrency and decentralized banking and all that stuff is there is a ledger. The ledger is immutable, which means once it's written to, it's like read-only memory. Like once it's written to, you can't edit or modify the data. Right? Do you guys remember like DVDs and CD-ROMs, like graybeards and old timers in chat? You youngs have no idea because all you see is USB drives. But back in the day, when I was young, you would actually have to like burn to discs, right? Who didn't make a mixtape CD? Or mixtape. But you'd have to burn it. And they actually had CDs that you could like burn to, but only one time. It's very similar. So because of these records, anyone can analyze it, but it's really, really hard to analyze it without help. Okay. Like check this out really quickly. All right, here we go. Oh yeah. So this is look at this. Like, hold on. Explore. I think this is it. Yeah, so like this is the blockchain, okay? And you could see like literally like this is probably honestly you know how when I play an infographic, I start playing the horn set, like the saxophone sound. Like this right here, like Jay Gold is probably gonna like close the bedroom door right now and be like, I'll be right out. Like this is the blockchain right here. These are active transactions being written right now in real time to the ledger. Okay. So because that is immutable, it can be analyzed. And that's what this company does. This company is amazing. And they have worked with law enforcement multiple times to help identify the person or people behind criminal enterprises that are using cryptocurrency for their financial transactions. And if you're interested, again, I love this book. And if you are in Denver, Christina Paulika, aka the librarian, is also there. Do say hello. In fact, just so everybody knows, this is her right here, directly. You can see her right here, right in the middle of this picture. That's Christina. So if you see her in Denver, give her a high five and thank her for being the librarian. But this book right here, Tracers in the Dark, it covers 4 different law enforcement cases, and Chainalysis is all over it with them helping law enforcement identify the people behind it. Silk Road, Alphabay, Hello Video, and a 4th one that I can't remember right now. Okay, so what do we get out of this? This is analysis. This is good, honestly, if you work in GRC or you're a CISO and you're trying to do, I guess, threat modeling and threat forecasting for your organization, getting a lay of the land on ransomware, since ransomware is undeniably the number one threat you have to be mindful of. Business email compromise is also quite popular and devastating, but ransomware is, the bee's knees, as it were. So looking at this, we see ransomware payment totals going down. Again, they're able to analyze immutable ledgers and tell you this. So it went down from 1 billion to 800 million. Remember the Change Healthcare, I want to say, was like, I don't know, how much was that? Was that like $200 million or something, or $20 million? It was pretty steep. No, it was 20 million. There was a $75 million payment record to a company, to a ransomware threat group called Dark Angels. I didn't know about that one, but highest ransomware payment ever paid. Ransom payments going down quite a bit here. Now I don't know if this is like people making payments or amount of payments, but this is a good trend to see right here. And then activity of top 10 strains by ransom paid. And you can see Black Cat Alfie is 100% down. They literally exited. Give you guys a closer look at this. And if you're listening on the audio, by the way, we do have audio version of the podcast. If you prefer audio, you can get it on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, etc. Just look for Daily Cyber Threat Brief. But we're looking at a bar chart here, so you'd have to see the video. But Black Suit, Silent Luna Moth, and Lockbit down quite a bit. Honestly, I hadn't even heard of Silent Luna Moth. Great to see him down. Lockbit has been a target of international law enforcement getting after it. And you can see like Akira has grown. So unfortunately, the key takeaway for practitioners here is ransomware is very much like dark web marketplace, where when one exits, if you don't take off the head of the beast, another, they can spin it up under a different name, or they just give their playbooks and infrastructure to another person, sell it like a business selling a business to another person, and off they run. So there is going to be a market. People are going to continue to do it. We have done everything we can to disrupt ransomware as a threat in multiple capacities, from fines to technologies, et cetera, et cetera. So, but it continues. Like, this is a great win for us, and you should be aware of this as a practitioner, but it doesn't mean it's time to like pull up stakes and pack the tent and call it a day. Like, we still got work to do.
Thailand cuts power supply to Myanmar scam hubs. On Wednesday, Thailand cut off the supply of fuel, internet, and electricity to 3 cities in Myanmar where criminal syndicates have set up hubs devoted to online fraud. Last week, Chinese authorities called on the Thai government to do more to stop scamming activity in Myanmar. The Chinese Foreign Ministry said Wednesday that China attaches great importance to combating, quote, the recent string of cross-border telecom fraud and other vicious cases along the Thailand-Myanmar border, end quote. China and Thailand have reportedly pledged to set up a coordination center in Bangkok this month to combat cyber scams.
All right. So really quickly, when I talk about disrupting ransomware operations, you got to do it across multiple dimensions. And honestly, this isn't a ransomware one. This is a scam. But you know what? If you take out layer 1 of the OSI networking stack, i.e. the physical layer, guess what? It's hyper effective at disrupting operations. So can I just I'm going to do a law enforcement one, but really this is like a round of applause.
Regulators, mount up.
I love this, dude. You know what? If Thailand, listen, it might be difficult to kick in a building door and, arrest all these people and disrupt them. Just cut the power to the building. And it's like a double middle finger. They actually are going to come out. Now, Jesus, we got a problem here, people. One critical shortcoming of this is this is the equivalent of entering a building, okay? And you turn on the lights and there's tons of cockroaches. And the cockroaches, when you turn the light on, the cockroaches all scatter away, right? That's basically what this is. And yeah, scammers, scumbags, they're like cockroaches, okay? So this is literally a parallel. So yes, Thailand, we don't.
Oh, there we go. I think Jerry's machine kind of stopped for a second.
Yeah, everything just kind of went frozen on him. So, DJ B-Sec, should we just go ahead and go YOLO on what we were planning on doing anyway, or should we still wait?
Hey, we might as well while Jerry probably restarts. All right, everybody. That was the last story before we go into the mid-roll. So we're gonna go ahead and let Jerry restart and then pop back in. But while he does that, let's I guess we could jaw jack for a couple seconds. Because I'm sure he'll come in and do the whole mid-roll and do everything. But let's yeah. Everybody, FBI has raided Jerry. The FBI has raided Jerry. This is what happens when this is our business continuity right now.
That it is. All right. So if you're live on the stream, everybody wants to talk about this thing being recorded or not. We'll kind of show you right now. This is not recorded. So live from Denver, this is what we're looking at right now.
Oh, it's in reverse.
It is in reverse.
No.
It's all right. Sit back. There we go. Lift it up. There you go.
There you go.
Coral.
So this way we can
I've got armor.
We're just.
You just want to go ahead and do it, or hold it up?
just make sure he jumps back in.
Oh, that's Yeah, it's about a 20-second delay, yo.
Yeah, 10 seconds
Oh,
on
okay.
YouTube for sure.
Yeah, everybody now is in chat. Everybody now sees what's going on.
Yep. So I guess let's just go ahead and do it because we're not sure how long it's going to take, and your arm may get tired.
Well, we'll give it a minute.
All right, so the participants here want to give Jerry a minute to come back on the stream.
Right now, Jerry is doing a completely full reboot, and he will be back in a second.
Cybersecurity.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's doing a full reboot right now.
Starting yet?
Just so everybody knows, Jerry has no idea that this is happening. There was a plan for a jump in from everybody from Denver, but it looks like Jerry's computer decided to shut down, so we just had everybody from Denver go ahead and take over. Jerry is sending us images in chat of his computer rebooting right now.
Everybody over here is talking about those Windows updates being so hot right now.
Oh. I think it's more along the lines of right now Jerry's computer got a little spicy.
Guys gave Jerry a problem, right?
So we got a live stream of YouTube going as well. I'm not sure if it froze up. There, be a sec. Oh, there we go.
I was gonna say nobody in YouTube or on YouTube right now is saying that there's anything frozen. In fact, what everybody out there in YouTube land is saying is go ahead and drop that flag and give everybody behind the flag some screen time.
Got everybody behind the flag.
Oh, everybody's already behind it, but they're definitely wanting Jerry to be back before they do the big reveal. Give him the full Monty. Oh, no.
Could you imagine you're going and you're listening to this podcast, you're not watching, but you're listening, and all of a sudden Jerry freezes. You can't see that Jerry has frozen. I come on. You guys in Denver come on, and we're just sitting here yapping through the podcast. There we go. Who's sending me message? Oh, damn.
So DJ, I'm willing to bet that we're going to get blamed for all of this.
Man, you know what? Who cares? It's the end of the week. I'm just waiting for him to pop in. Oh my god.
H2, 24H2. Yeah,
I'm waiting for Jerry. But if we don't get Jerry back,
I was getting ready to ask him, are you in a position to pick up the rest of the stream if he's going through 22 H2 updates?
I was going to do jaw jacking today anyway, so I've got it set up. It's just a matter of waiting on his computer. He must have the slowest computer in the world.
No, this one, Patch Tuesday, we're getting confirmation in the room that 22H2 is being mandated through Patch Tuesday this week.
Yeah, it is.
So
I
that's
actually
like
did
almost a
last
30-minute reboot process.
It's an extended reboot process. Yeah, I did it last night when I went downstairs. I did it, so I came back this morning and it was all up. I wonder, anybody out there know how long it takes? Was it 5 minutes? 10 minutes?
I've been hearing some people say 3-4 minutes, some people say 30 minutes.
It just depends on which one you need. If it was the roll up or if it was the full.
Full, yeah.
Just text it.
Has anybody called help desk and asked for a reboot? I can tell you I don't have anything for the mid-roll, but our good buddy Haircut Fish did send me the meme of the week. So we'll give Jerry a couple minutes, and then if he does not pop back in, we'll share the meme of the week. And it's fitting for what has happened today. It's pretty funny.
Jerry gets it's not just he doesn't easy to
Oh, Jerry Guy for the win has popped back in. There he is. Hey. So we're getting confirmation right now. Did your machine reboot because of an update?
No. I don't know what happened. I think I don't know what happened, honestly, but everybody needs to understand, like, when I reboot, like, I lose like connection to my NAS, which a lot of my assets are pulled from. Setting up the show takes time, and it's a whole thing. But I do wicked appreciate the business continuity plan for you jumping on here and keeping everybody entertained, engaged. Did you do any more of the stories, or did you do like where are we?
Yeah, both Eric and I just popped in real quick to see what was going on.
Hey, if we can, real quick, because you know me, I like to interrupt and be, a train wreck on Hot Mess Express.
Okay.
But Jerry, for you, Ben, I'm going to drop you out. There you go. So Jerry, for you, got a special message for everybody here.
Okay. Oh yeah, what's up, Simply Cyber? Oh my God, that's so cool. Oh, that is so cool. That is.
We're all here for you.
Oh my God, take a picture of that. That was so dope.
There's been plenty of pictures, my good friend. There's been plenty of pictures, and everybody wanted to get together this morning and just say hi to you, wishing that you were here, and best of luck on the rest of your stream, and don't go through any more reboots.
Oh my God, yeah, dude, so cool. Hey, thanks everybody in Denver. What's up? Like, it's great to see you guys. So cool. That's awesome. I just dropped an F-bomb. Like, that's so cool. Thanks, guys. All right, so dude, I'm like beside myself. That was so cool. Like, freaking awesome community. All right. So, all right, like, that's a Wayne's World reference. So Casually Joseph, go watch that. But like, we're just gonna like slide back in here, like we're doing like nothing ever happened. Really apologize everybody for that. I don't know what happened. Crap happens. Business continuity is a thing. GRC Mafia knows what I'm talking about. Red teamers who look down. I saw Daniel Lowry in the live chat or live studio audience over on the side. Daniel, this is what GRC looks like, my friend. I told you we were going to make it cool again, or socially acceptable. All right, so let's go, guys. We were actually just about to slide into...
And now we'd like to thank today's episode sponsor, ThreatLocker. ThreatLocker is a global leader in zero trust endpoint security, offering cybersecurity controls to protect businesses from zero-day attacks and ransomware. ThreatLocker operates with a default deny approach to reduce the attack surface and mitigate potential cyber vulnerabilities. To learn more and start your free trial, visit ThreatLocker.com. That's ThreatLocker.com.
All right. Hey, whether you're in the live studio audience or you're on virtual, whether whatever, you're in the car, you're at home, you're Aiden back in Texas, wherever you are, you know the words. Let's go. My God. Hey, thank you all so very much. Again, working through a little bit of unexpected downtime. Downdetector.com did alert that Simply Cyber was down for a minute. We got it sorted out. Guys, I want to thank all of you, genuinely from the bottom of my heart. Thank you for making this community so amazing, so engaging, so helpful. So many people come to me and say, man, like I see it, like people have told me in person, people have said it in chat, people have DM'd me. Jerry, like the Simply Cyber community, I'm so glad that I found it. People are so kind, so helpful. I feel like I belong. I feel like I can be vulnerable. And it's literally because of all of you. So thank you from the bottom of my heart for all you do. Of course, thank you to the stream sponsors like ThreatLocker, Barricade Cyber, who's hosting the live studio audience right now. Delete Me and Antisyphon. It's all about good times. We are going to do the ad reads for Antisyphon, which Daniel Lowry, you can take a little bow since he's working with that crew over there, Zach Hill, Kathy Chambers, and I'll do the Barricade Cyber one. Let me actually do the Barricade Cyber one, and then we're going to do, where is it? Hold on. Because I reset my machine, everything's screwed up. We're going to be doing What's Your Meme Thursday here in just a second. But let me tell you about Barricade Cyber really quickly, guys. Barricade Cyber, if you didn't know, Eric Taylor right in front of your face for some of you. And, Barricade Cyber logo in the squad membership. They are absolutely dedicated to helping businesses from cyber attacks and recover from the damage done. Cyber attacks, guys, they cause massive issues for businesses. They send dedicated, hardworking business owners into turmoil. But Barricade Cyber Solutions knows how to mitigate the damage done by cyber incidents. Believe that. Check them out at barricadecyber.com. There's Eric Taylor, the business version Eric Taylor versus the casual version Eric Taylor we just saw on stream a hot minute ago. Whether it's ransomware or business email compromise, if you've got a problem, he's got a solution. Give him a call, barricadecyber.com. Thanks so much, Eric, for all that you do alongside Casually Joseph, Justin Gold, the crew over there. Guys, every single day of the week has a special segment, and Thursdays, I'm very pleased to share that Dan Reardon has it on lockdown of What's Your Meme Thursday. Now, I do want to give a special shout out that James McQuiggan at 35,000 feet is part of the inspiration for this meme. So shout out to Dan, shout out to James McQuiggan. Ladies and gentlemen, Simply Cyber community, this is your meme of the week. Yes, sir. GRC Mafia. We're getting official up in here. The GRC father. So shout out to Dan Reardon. Thank you so very much, Dan. Thank you, GRC Mafia. You guys know what we're up to. We are on a mission. I got the GRC shirt representing right now. We can be proud that we are GRC, no longer hiding in the corners with our spreadsheets. It's all about good times, and it's all about helping businesses and individuals reduce their cyber risk reduction. Let me just do a quick Antisyphon read as we enjoy this rib tickler. And then when we come back, Alpha Sierra is going to lead us off with the la 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 la. Do you want cutting-edge, high-quality cybersecurity education, regardless of financial position? Check this out. I want to give some love and some praise to Antisyphon Training, powered by Black Hills Information Security. Antisyphon Training is absolutely disrupting the traditional cybersecurity training industry by providing high-quality, cutting-edge education to everyone, regardless of financial position. They bring industry professionals with years and years of experience into the classroom to teach you and anyone else who's interested practical skills that are in demand in the market today. And on top of that, the student experience is amazing as you and hundreds or thousands in some instances of other students are actively engaging, networking, sharing tips, tricks, and experiences with each other, all live in the classroom. Go to antisyphontraining.com, check out their course calendar to see what courses they have coming up next. You won't regret it. On. Here we go, Alpha Sierra. Right. Oh my God, what an amazing day, guys. I was already like having a good day, and that Denver surprise just really, wow, so cool. All right, let's finish the news. I forgot we have work to do.
Mobile apps found using OCR to steal crypto. Researchers at Kaspersky have identified a new campaign called SparkCat infecting Android and iOS apps on Google and Apple app stores. An SDK on infected apps utilizes a malicious Java component called Spark disguised as an analytics module. The malicious components load different OCR modules depending on the language of the system that attempt to locate and extract victim recovery phrases that can be used by attackers to load crypto wallets on their own devices without knowing the password. According to Kaspersky, there are 28 infected Android and iOS apps, with many still available in their respective app stores. The infected apps were downloaded over 242,000 times on Google Play alone. Kaspersky said users should delete these apps from their phone and should avoid storing recovery phrases in screenshots. Instead, the user should store the phrases in encrypted offline storage devices or password managers.
Okay. So this is, there's a couple things in here to point out. First of all, Jay Crypto, Justin Gold, he's probably like moonwalking somewhere. He's like, oh my God, so much crypto talk, bro. I've got an inside line on a new coin. So here's what I want you to take away as a cyber professional. Okay, dude, crypto stealing apps is like, welcome to the party, pal. Like, it's been around for a minute now. They have these like seed phrases, like it almost looks like you're trying to activate the Winter Soldier. These seed phrases, it's like banana, foobar, doubler, chicken wing, fast track or whatever. Like, it's these phrases. And this is actually an interesting kind of novel attack, if you're asking me, where it's using optical character recognition, commonly referred to as OCR, to look at an image and find those seed phrases and then ultimately use them to access a victim's crypto wallet and exfil their money, which is what the name of the game is, right?
Did we just
Hold
become
on.
best friends? Yep.
That was a misfire.
Straight cash, homie.
All about that straight cash, homie. Now, obviously, that is not good. So remember, a lot of people will take a screenshot of their one-time backup passwords. You'll see this a lot of times too when people set up multi-factor authentication on a website or credentials or whatever, and it'll be like, oh, here's like your one-time password, 10 options that break glass in case of emergency. And a lot of people will take a screenshot of that and file it away, or they'll take a picture with their phone. Now, let me tell you something here, little Fire Marshal Bill action. James McQuiggan,
Best friends. Yep.
James McQuiggan coming in hot from seat 3B. It was so much fun to play on the surprise for you, Jerry. Shout out to B-Dubs, Eric, and Josh for your help pulling this off, and everyone in Denver. Thank you. We are Team SC. Hell yeah, you are. Coffee cup. Cheers. Let's go. Thank you so much, James McQuiggan. So let me tell you something. A little more, okay? And this is something that you can tell your end users, and it will resonate with them 100%, okay? Because guess what? Spoiler alert. Most people do this. If you have an iPhone, it almost like natively sets you up with iCloud because Apple wants you on that sweet, sweet iCloud nipple going, right? So when you take a picture with your phone, if you have iCloud storage, which I think they give you 5 gigs for free, quote unquote, for free, it'll sync your photos up there if you don't configure it not to. Now, not a big deal, right? Who cares? It's a picture of me in Denver, like, ooh, look, selfie. It's like me and B-Dubs in Deadwood, like whatever, like it's cool. But like threat actors don't care about that. The problem is your end users see this list of one-time passwords and they'll take their phone and they'll snap a picture. And maybe they take that picture and they save it in a super secure vault. They print it out and they put it in a safe. And then they put the safe in a like they raise it up and it's like 30 feet off the ground. So like bears can't get to it, right? And then they light a fire around it. And then they build a chain link fence around the tree, right? Like, I'm being stupid here, but my point is that everybody protects the crap out of that. And they forget that a copy of that picture has been sent up to their iCloud. And when threat actors get up in your cloud storage, they will filter by JPEG, PNG, HEIC file, whatever. And then it's trivial to scan pictures. I know what selfies look like. I also know what documents look like. I also know what screenshots look like. So a threat actor can quickly find those passwords and boom, they can utilize them. So just be mindful of that. That's not a massive rampant attack, but it is an attack vector to be mindful of, and one that people don't give consideration to because they're not thinking that their pictures are being backed up to iCloud because Apple's hooking you up. Now, for this particular story, they're using OCR instead of scanning those pictures. It is malware that it's being installed. The other thing that is worth noting here is that a lot of people think that Apple App Store, using their walled garden technique, prevents malware from being pushed into the Apple App Store. And for the most part, malware is difficult to get in there. But just like Macs can get infected, malicious software can be installed in the Apple App Store and downloaded. Now, Google Play Store, you're on your own. That's basically YOLO, baby. Like you're just taking your own risk in your own hands. But make end users aware too that the Apple App Store can house malware and to be mindful of it. There's an entire discussion to be had about how the malware got in the App Store. It does have to go through scrutiny, and only developers that have been approved and have certs can be done. So it's possible that those developers got compromised, or a straight up, malicious organization pretended to be a legit organization in order to get in the App Store. Yada, yada, yada. That's all the things. But be mindful of that. Backups of your sensitive photos and Apple App Stores can have malware. Let's go.
Attackers target education sector to hijack Microsoft accounts. Researchers at Abnormal Security discovered the campaign, which is targeting about 150 organizations, mostly in the education sector, that rely on Microsoft Active Directory Federation Services, or ADFS, to authenticate across on-premise and cloud systems. The campaign uses a spoofed phishing email that appears to be from the organization's IT help desk, telling the recipient that an important update requires immediate attention. Links direct the victims to fake Microsoft ADFS login pages, which are personalized for the particular MFA setup used by the target. Once the victim enters the credentials and an MFA code, attackers take over the accounts and are able to pivot to other services through SSO. Experts say this risk can be mitigated by moving away from legacy AFDS to modern identity platforms and upgrading to phishing-resistant MFA.
All right. I mean, maybe I'm mistaken on this one, but I do like ADFS. I guess I didn't realize ADFS was considered legacy at this point. So DJ BSEC, if you want to weigh in on this, but ADFS is basically where you can allow users who access your users in your AD environment that are accessing solutions that are outside your AD environment, being able to use their AD creds to authenticate. It's very, very similar to when you use your Google account to authenticate to some SaaS product service or whatever, and you don't create a local account to that SaaS product. ADFS is great because when Daniel Lowry, well, let's not use Daniel. When someone leaves to go to a new job, right? You can just disable their AD account, and that you've disabled their access to all the things, including the cloud services. When you're doing localized accounts and SaaS products and stuff, when the person leaves, they persist their access into that product. And now you got to keep this list of what cloud products. And let's be honest, people are, creating accounts and logging into cloud products it's going out of style. Everywhere you turn around, it's a new cloud product that's going to solve all your problems. So I do like ADFS. Threat actors have realized there's a weaponization or an attack technique that can take advantage of that and bypass MFA. Guys, in 2025, identity and access management is critical. Basically because we have decentralized systems and clouds everywhere. And people are just accessing things all over the place, from personal devices as well, personal laptops, personal cell phones. So this idea of zero trust architecture is even more important in 2025 than ever before. And frankly, there's this. I will say this is migrating off ADFS is absolutely not a trivial thing to do. It's not you're hey, you know what we should do this Friday at 3 p.m.? Daniel Lowry is my buddy today. Daniel, I saw this news story about ADFS's legacy and we should migrate. What do you think? Like Friday, when we get back from lunch, let's take a late lunch, get some tacos, like around 2:30. We'll come back and we'll upgrade from ADFS to whatever this other thing is, right? That's not trivial. You do want to plan the architecture. If you're going to do this, I would recommend talking with your IT counterparts. If you have an identity and access management team, definitely do that. If you are in Microsoft 365's environment, which most of us are, according to DJ Bisek, and I would agree, move to Azure AD if possible and take advantage of all the services there. I also do want to point out, if you are still stuck on 2008 R2, you can't upgrade to Azure AD because you can't take advantage of multi-factor because of that schema. And I know it's brutal to migrate off of 2008 R2 to a newer version, but guess what? You got to rip that Band-Aid off sometime. Make it a priority in 2025. Let's go.
Man sentenced to 7 years for a role in $50 million internet scam. 59-year-old Californian Alan Giltman pleaded guilty to building a network of fraudulent websites. According to the DOJ, between 2012 and 2020, Giltman and others created at least 150 bogus websites posing as real financial institutions. Unwitting victims came across the fraudulent sites via internet search advertisements. Lured by the promise of high return investment opportunities, victims contacted Giltman using a phone number or email provided. Giltman would then impersonate real FINRA broker-dealers to set up fake investment transactions and then moved his victims' swindled funds to bank accounts around the world. Collectively, Giltman scammed over 70 people out of roughly $50 million. Many victims were older adults investing in their retirement savings. Giltman has been sentenced to 87 months in prison and has been ordered to forfeit around $100,000.
All right. F around and find out, part 2.
Regulators, mount up.
All right, so this dude right here, I got to tell you, I don't like this too much. Okay, so this 59-year-old obviously did a horrible job of financial planning for himself, I would assume, and he decides that he's going to rip people off. People who are older, it sounded like was his target demo, tricking them and basically taking their retirement. So if you're trying to fill out scumbag on your bingo card, may I welcome you to that. Scumbag has entered the chat. $50 million internet scam. He made a bunch of websites. I mean, this is a pretty honestly, if you're looking to break in the industry, this is a pretty straightforward scam on how to weaponize phishing or like landing pages and trick people into giving you money. He gets 7 years, so he's 59, so he'll be out at 66, eligible for, United States Social Security retirement, so perfect for him. And he's only going to have to pay back $100,000, which in a $50 million internet scam seems a little light. He had co-conspirators, whatever. Department of Justice got this guy. He was arrested in 2020, and he did this scam for 8 years. So literally, this guy was ripping people off for more years than he's getting jail time for. I don't know. I mean, I'm not a hardliner on punishment and corporal punishment and stuff like that, but this guy just sounds like sorry Kennedy, this guy sounds like a butthole, and I don't like that. Like, people work hard for their money and you're just gonna scam them. So he does do a little bit of technical elements by creating variants of website domains. This is a very popular technique of threat actors and pen testers, right? Everybody turn to Daniel Lowry and ask him, basically creating a lookalike domain. So capital1.com, but instead of a L in capital one, you actually put a one. So it's like capita 1one.com, right? And then you fire it off. There's a lot of services out there, frankly, that will check for lookalike domains and stuff and alert you when they are registered. So be mindful. There is solutions that you can purchase, frankly, that can help proactively alert you when threat actors are registering malicious domains. Unfortunately, this guy was scamming and targeting individual victims. So even if a business paid for all of the domain lookalike things, they would know that a domain was registered and they may be able to start the process of getting it taken down. But that delta between detection and takedown is that sweet spot for the threat actor to rip people off, right? Let's keep going. By the way, I got to go teach today at Citadel, and I was supposed to leave 2 minutes ago, but things happen.
Abandoned AWS cloud storage is a major cyber risk. Researchers from Watchtower discovered around 150 Amazon Web Services S3 buckets that were formerly used by organizations for software deployment and updates, but were then abandoned. The researchers registered the unused buckets using their original names for a total of around $400 and then enabled logging to see what requests might flow into them. In a 2-month period, the S3 buckets received a staggering 8 million file requests, including those from government agencies in the US and the UK and Australia, Fortune 100 companies, banking institutions, and cybersecurity companies. Had the researchers been threat actors, they could have responded to any of these requests with malicious software updates, allowing them access to requesting organizations' AWS environment or virtual machine. AWS quickly sinkholed the S3 buckets that Watchtower identified, but the broader risk posed by abandoned cloud services still persists.
Yeah, I mean, this is a real issue, okay, guys? So we actually see this in different capacities, okay? So we've seen this on GitHub, where there's abandoned repos that people are using, and then threat actors take it over, register it. We've seen it with basically domains. So like a company comes out of nowhere, they do something, and then they go belly up or whatever, and then they don't renew the domain name, and threat actors register it, and then off and running. Look at Enron. You guys know Enron, the company that is the reason that Sarbanes-Oxley is even a thing. The company that ripped off a bunch of people and committed a bunch of crimes. Michael Moore did a documentary called The Smartest People in the Room or Smartest Guys in the Room. Go look at that. Like, for those who lived through the Enron Tyco bullshit stuff in the early 2000s, you know what I'm talking about. Somebody just bought Enron. It's like a dude who, I can't tell if it's a meme or not, but he's definitely doing crypto coins. So again, Justin Gold has entered the chat. This is the same thing. So S3 buckets, those are basically just data storage, file storage up in AWS. They call it S3 bucket, but AWS has silly names. When they're abandoned, you can register it. And the thing is, if people have configured software or set up, automations or anything like that is using those S3 buckets, well, when they go down, it just basically splashes up and fails. But once it gets turned back on, it splashes up and goes in. And since somebody else is controlling the S3 bucket, you're sending them your data. This is a real threat, frankly. And the problem is, this is a difficult one to control, because this isn't the S3 buckets that your organization controlled. It's software that your organization is using, or automations and setups and stuff that your organization is using that's pushing into S3 buckets that may have been abandoned or whatever. So maybe you set something up to try something out or pilot something and it doesn't really work, and you don't disable it. That's what happens here. The key here, okay? And again, GRC Mafia, where you at? The key here is called system lifecycle. And everybody gets all hot and bothered, right? Like, please put on a button-down shirt right now, tie it to the collar, and then go, right? Like, getting hot under the collar, playing the midnight saxophone sounds when it comes to new systems. Oh my God, did you see that new system? Oh my God, this is going to solve all our problems. Ooh, look at the backside of that new system. And you're like, everybody's all hot and bothered. You have kickoff meetings. People get frothed up. Project owners, system owners, they send out mass emails. Everybody gets geeked up. Then you deploy it. And everyone's like, woo, did you see the new system? And then people start grumbling like, oh, the system kind of sucks. Like, it's busy or whatever. Then everybody moves on to the next system. And this thing is just left there. And it needs care, feeding, nurturing. And even if it gets that, when you come out with a new system to replace that one, everybody just moves and leaves it like it's trash. Guess what? You can't, just like leaving trash in your car or on the ground. If you have a picnic and you just leave all your trash in the park, you're an a-hole. It's the same reality of system lifecycle. If you're just like, well, we're done with that system, like, let's go use another one. You're introducing attack surface. You're introducing exposure that's completely controllable if you just follow the whole life cycle of decommissioning. All right. I don't know why I get so angry about that. In my career, I have seen so many freaking abandoned systems, even systems that people got all geeked up about when they deployed it, and then it got no care and feeding. Like, I know I'm going to see you. People are going to feel seen in chat right now. Do you know how many instances of Security Onion I've seen fully set up? No one's caring and feeding it. No one's doing anything. It's like, oh man, Security Onion's going to solve all my problems. Deployed. Oh man, this actually requires like a lot of time and effort to manage and nurture and feed and care. Ain't nobody got time for that.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Abandoned. Right? Oh, let's do this new cool. It's going to solve all our problems. Abandoned, right? Like, you get an abandoned system. You get an abandoned system. So anyways, thank you for coming to my TED Talk on system lifecycle. It pisses me off for some reason. That and MFA not being used like for SaaS products. Like, what are you doing? All right, guys. Holla, holla, holla. Let me do this. Woosah. All right, guys. I'm Jerry from Simply Cyber. Shout out to all of the Mile High crew up in Denver. Stay hydrated. Be good to each other. To everybody in chat, hey, thanks so much for being here today. I know we experienced a little bit of a system issue mid-roll. Shout out to Eric Taylor, DJ BSEC for the mid-roll business continuity planning. I'm Jerry from Simply Cyber. I got to get to work, but I'm going to leave you in the capable hands of my good friend and accomplished professional, DJ BSEC, as he answers all your questions. Quick shout out really quickly to the community. Somebody named AC Slater says they've been here since episode 263. That's years he's been with us, AC Slater. Stepping into light to share that they're starting their first IT job on Monday. Hell yes, sir. That's awesome. Thanks for sharing, AC Slater. Those are the wins we're looking for. It feels good to be a gangster. All right, guys, I leave you in the capable hands of my good friend DJ BSEC. Peace out. See you tomorrow, 8 a.m. Eastern. Later. Ever wonder what it takes to break into cybersecurity? Join us every weekday for Jawjacking, where industry experts answer your burning questions about the cybersecurity field. Live, unfiltered, and totally free. Let's level up together. It's time for some Jawjacking.
Oh, and we're live. All right. Shout out to everybody in Denver for coming in during the mid-roll and saying what's up. I'm pretty sure that freaked Jerry out more than anybody realizes. I'm sure now that he's offline, he's probably sitting in the back of his studio with a happy tear. Anyway, this is Jawjacking. So a little bit about me. I give this little spiel now every single time I come on. I've been in the industry about 25 years, maybe a little bit more than 25 years. If I say more than that, then it seems like I'm really old. Pretty sure I've done almost everything when it comes to the technical aspect of the job. I've done help desk. I've done desktop support. I've been a systems admin. I've got a whole bunch of Cisco certifications you can see back over here. I just got CISSP last year. So I'm all over the place. Like I always say, ask any question you want. I can answer a lot of questions. I cannot answer every question, but the ones that I can, we'll get an answer for you. And hopefully it's an answer that will help you out. We do have a stream following the Jawjacking today at 9:30 Eastern, and we will raid over to that. It is Tools and Skills for Security Analyst Part 1. So there's a two-part series, Part 1 of the Cybersecurity Mentor podcast, and that's going to be Season 2, Episode 5. So let's go ahead and let's turn some music on. You might hear my voice drop down a little bit because Restream likes to do that. Restream does not like for us to have multiple audios going in at the same time. So if I am hard to hear, I can turn the music down some. Let me turn it down a little bit on y'all's end. That way it's not so loud, and we can get it. Yes, everybody, 25 years. It's a lot. I started in the industry in my teens. So there you go. You have blurry certs. Yes, I do have blurry certs because I have a great camera that focuses on my face, not on the stuff behind me. All right, questions. Any question. We can talk about whatever you want to talk about. It's 8:12, so we've got about 15 minutes. In fact, I've got a timer up there. Let me do this. The timer shows 0. Let's go ahead and hit play. And we'll see that we've got 15 minutes. I said 8:12 because I am in Central Time, so I will usually tell you the time that I'm in, not Eastern Time. But I've got a little countdown. It'll keep me honest. That way we can make sure that we get over to the other stream in about 15 minutes. All right, let's see. Jerry did read the pinned comment that I had earlier up there about AC Slater. Let's see. Can we have a link for the show after jaw jaking? Oh yeah. I'll put that's what I'm working on right now. I'm going to get the link for the new show that's coming up, and I will put it in the chat. All right. Any questions? Or is everybody? Or is today a non-question day? We seem to go through that. We go through days where I have no questions, and then I go through a day where I have so many questions I don't even have time to answer them. And I leave here with like 40 questions sitting in queue because we're running out of time. That's not at all not correct. I was younger. Saul Redtooth. All right. This is a question that hold on. Not that one. This one. This is a question we get a lot of times, and we see it come around. Can I start a career at age X? The answer is you can do anything you want to do. You can do whatever you put your mind to. That's like, I put my mind to getting CISSP. I went out and I did it. You put the work in, you can get whatever you want. As it relates to, can I do it at 55? Can I do it at 60? Can I do it? Yes, you have a lot to give at age 55. You got a lot to give at 60, 60. You have a lifetime of experiences that can be brought into cybersecurity. I'm not sure what you did prior to it, but there are lessons to be learned throughout life that you can give that knowledge to other people in the cybersecurity realm. So yes, you can start at 55. If you're already retired, and let's say this, let's say you're 55 and you want to switch careers, or you're on that edge of retiring and you want to do something that's going to get you a couple of bucks while you retire and you don't want to be bored, and that's something that you're looking to do. This would be great because you can go learn a whole bunch of stuff and you can do some consulting stuff. So 100% you can get into this industry. You can get into most any industry at most any age if you set your mind to it. All right, everything was scrolling back up. Let's see. What would you recommend as a password locker app? I think you just mean like a password manager app. A Bitwarden is great. There's a whole bunch of big ones, right? You've got Bitwarden, you've got LastPass. Everybody screams about, oh, LastPass got popped. You know what LastPass did? Every other company gets popped and they fix their stuff and they move on. You could use LastPass, OnePass, it doesn't matter. What I tell everybody that I work with is don't use your browser. Do not use the browser manager, the password manager for your browser. Number one, use an external password manager, and preferably one that gets you a password generator. So you can just click on it, generate the password. It saves the password in your application and you're done with it. And you don't ever have to worry about what it is. Now, I did see somebody earlier in chat while the show was running saying that password managers are not great. They're still, basically alluding to a password manager isn't great because you can lose it. 100% you can lose it. But you know what you can also do with a password manager? You can also download a copy of all your passwords. So do a backup. If you do a backup of your passwords and then for whatever reason you forget your main password, right? Because the password manager only has a single password in it. That's that one password to get into everything. You have your master password that gets you into the manager, and at that point, then it will find whatever password you need, and it will add it to whatever you're logging into. If you forget that password and you have a backup of your stuff, guess what? You can create a new account and do an import. All these password managers, for the most part, have an import and an export. So you could import, and they even have the ability to import and export from one to the other. So if you were in LastPass and LastPass got popped like it did a while back, and you're like, oh, I got to get out of here, which at that point, it doesn't really matter because all your stuff's already been popped anyway. But I got to get out of this and I want to move over to Bitwarden. Guess what? You can do an export and import into Bitwarden. Easy. All right. D from the deep. What are some beginner jobs you would recommend after grabbing Security Plus and completing a 6-month boot camp? I don't know. What is a 6-month boot camp? That does not sound like a boot camp. That sounds like a semester. I eventually want to pen test or get into forensics. All right. Here's what I would say. Everybody and their mother. So for the last 5 years, I started doing this stuff prior to COVID. And I've listened to tons and tons of shows. I've been part of tons and tons of shows. And when we talk about cybersecurity, everybody goes to, I got to be a pen tester. I have to be a pen tester. What you do not realize is let's say there are 100 jobs in cybersecurity. You know how many out of that 100 jobs in cybersecurity there are? Probably one. The other 99 jobs have to deal with something blue team related, meaning incident response, a SOC analyst, you name it. It's gonna deal with how are you securing the company, not how are you breaking into the company. Pen testing is a small niche of everything when it comes to cybersecurity. So what I would say is focus on DFIR. And if you got DFIR questions and how to get into that type of realm, you got somebody here that can help you. Eric Taylor owns his own company, right? He owns his own incident response company. Casually Joseph is part of that. Justin Gold is part of that. You can reach out to them and ask them, hey, what's something I can do? How can I get started? That's a good entry. That's a great way to find out how to get into an entry-level position in those types of companies. One of those is doing vulnerability management, working at MSP or MSSP. There's a lot to it. All right. We got about 7 minutes. I'm going to try and scroll through here. I know there's questions all the way through here. So let's, just another IT nerd. Aren't we all? Not a cybersecurity related. How do you feel about pineapple on pizza? That is the most disgusting thing I've ever heard in my life, but I do not like pineapple at all. So, no pineapple for me ever. On pizza or off pizza. Shane F., what resources did you find most helpful when studying for your CCNA? Thanks. All right, so when I did CCNA, that was 20-ish years ago, I think, 15, 20 years ago. At that time, I was using CBT Nuggets. That was pretty much the number one thing out there, the most popular thing out there. But a great resource for that was like Keith Barker, Jeremy Chara. Those two, I learned a ton from the two of them, and they still put out their own content. I'm not sure if they're both still with CBT Nuggets at all, but they put out their own content. They've got their own Discords. If you're looking to study a CCNA, that's great. David Bombal does a lot with CCNA. He actually posts stuff on LinkedIn. I see it all the time. He's posting questions about CCNA and how to pass it. So if you're looking to go CCNA, that's where I would go. There's no better person than watching Keith Barker and talking with him. The guy knows his stuff. Him and David Bombal and Jeremy Char are top notch when it comes to doing the security, or comes to doing the network and security network stuff. Outlaw, do you believe that your Cisco certs and networking knowledge can help you in cyber? 100%. So what a lot of people don't realize, and a lot of people, we see this a lot here too, is a lot of people go, hey, can I get an entry-level job into cybersecurity? And we have to step back for a minute and we've got to say there are entry-level jobs in cybersecurity, but there are no entry-level jobs for cybersecurity. Meaning, to be in cybersecurity, you have to have pre-knowledge of IT networking, of what's going on. If you are not, and I say this with a star, with an asterisk, right? If you're going to do something on the technical side, you have to have knowledge before you can get into cybersecurity, right? You're not, let's equate it to a car mechanic, right? You don't go take your car to somebody down the road and say, hey, fix my car, and not know if they have any knowledge, right? You're not just going to let them start popping the hood and get underneath there and start going crazy. You want to know that they're ASE certified, that they know what they're talking about, that when you get your car back, it's going to come back in a single piece and work. It's not going to be, hoses everywhere and missing parts and going, oh, well, I finished it. It turns on, but here's all the other parts that were with it, right? All those parts started with it and it worked with them. Why are they all off? When it comes to cybersecurity, understanding how networks talk to each other is something it's like base knowledge. You have to understand that. You've got to know. If you're trying to get into cybersecurity with no technical knowledge, the best way to go is to go into GRC and understand what risk is. Even then, you kind of need to understand the field, right? But if you're doing audits and you're just doing basically going in and saying, hey, this company has this policy in place, is the policy put in place, is the policy that's put in place being adhered to or not, that you don't need technical prowess for, right? But you do that you're learning how to pay attention to detail and do audits. But that's another way in. But yes, to answer your question directly, I do believe the certifications from Cisco helped me through. But let's also preface that with, I have those certifications, but I also did networking and was doing networking, still do networking for the last 15 to 20 years. So I understand what's going on. And when I can actually look at a Wireshark packet trace or packet capture and say, that don't look right. Where's this? Why is this going over here? Why is that going over there? Right. Oh, we got 2 minutes. Whew. That was a long. Besides SC, are there any other resources you recommend to stay up to date with vulnerabilities? You can create your own feed. RSS feeds are great. Putting together a full RSS feed of like dark reading, the Hacker News, cybersecurity.com. There's a whole bunch of different ones. That's what I use. When you see a story pop up from me, like Jerry put something up there that's from me, it's something that more than likely has happened overnight that wasn't in the CISO series that needs to be addressed, because I know CISO series is not going to address it that morning, right? Because they put together their stuff probably before 7 o'clock Central Time or whatnot and put it out so they can actually get the feed out. So yeah, there's a lot of different sites. And in fact, I can put this, let me see if I can put if you go to my cybersecurity, actually, I think if we just put BSEC in here, I'm going to put my link in here to my GitHub repo, and there's a whole bunch of stuff on there, books and other sites and all kinds of stuff in there, so you can do that. All right, this is going to be probably the last question. I know there's a ton of questions in here. Look, what is an application firewall? Does a virtualized multi-purpose appliance meet this? Does it fall more in line with being Cisco iOS or some other OS based? All right, so this is a longer than 1 minute answer, but I'm gonna try and do this real quick. Application firewall, depending on what you're talking about, when you tell me that you're putting up an application firewall, I'm thinking that you're doing something in the cloud. And an application firewall is just that. It allows you to have a single point, like a single IP address. The information comes into that, and then you can spread it out. It's kind of like a load balancer, a firewall of some sort, where you can push data to different services or different servers in the cloud. if you're talking about one that's not virtualized, more than likely you're just talking about a firewall. And a firewall, like a next-gen firewall that has services on there. And at that point, you're talking setting up new rules, pointing different things, opening up specific ports, and so forth. As it relates to as it being Cisco iOS or some iOS other based, it depends on what you're looking at. Because if you're using like Azure has an application firewall, if you're using that, it's probably GUI based, right? You could probably get in on the back end using Azure PowerShell to do some things. But all in all, it's not about the GUI. It's not about the command line. It's about the knowledge that you need to put the stuff correctly in place and understand the underlying. So like if you understand the underlying of Cisco iOS, then you know and understand how things are routing, how opening up a port is how opening up a port on NAT, but then you have to open it up over on the security side. There's a whole bunch of different things that go into this. This would be a longer conversation, something that if you want to get into, you can send me a message on Discord and we can discuss. All right, we've got, what time is it? We got 2 minutes. I see my timer is down. I set my timer before so we can make sure that we're getting to the right show. Let me get the link. So I'm going to put this link in chat. It's going to be underneath. This is the link to that we're going to raid over to. This is for the Cyber Mentors. It looks like they're going to start pretty soon. This is tools. Let me put this whole link in here, and then I am going to once I drop this in here, I'm going to run our outro. That way everybody can hop over there. Here's the link. I will go back through here while everybody moves over there. I'm going to go through. I'm going to grab whatever chats are left in here, and we'll save them. And remember, tomorrow, every Friday, starting at 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock Eastern, 8 o'clock Central, we do jawjacking just like I did now, but it's a group. It's a panel. I don't know who all's going to show up because we do have a whole bunch of people that are out there in Denver partying, having a good time, learning security, going to Wild West HackinFest in Denver. But Jerry and I will be there. Not sure. Maybe Eric will show up. Maybe we can get James McQuiggan to pop in. Who knows? But right now, I put the link in chat. Let's go right over to Tools and Security for Security Analysts by the Cybersecurity Mentors podcast. This is going to be part one of a two-part series. It just started, so let's go do that. I am going to get out of here and go over there and watch what's going on. Hopefully everybody has a great day, and as always, stay secure, people. See y'all tomorrow.
Hey everybody, I hope you enjoyed that content. Keep the cybersecurity train going by connecting with the other Simply Cyber community resources. We have the Discord server that's lively and always keeps the conversation going. You can connect with me directly on LinkedIn. And also every single weekday morning on the Simply Cyber channel, we're doing live daily cyber threat briefings, 8 a.m. Eastern time, as well as Thursday at 4:30 p.m. we're doing live stream interviews with industry experts, and we produce videos that we push out every Wednesday morning. I'm Jerry from Simply Cyber. I hope you enjoyed the content, and we'll see you in the next one.